Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rafneet and today I am here with my very first update of Pan Those Eyeshadows project pan. So this project pan was originally started by Alexi and I will link her down below. But before we get into the update, if you are new here, please consider subscribing to my channel because I make a lot of panning videos. I am really excited to share my progress with you because I have hit 4 pans out of 5 eyeshadows that I rolled in last month. In my intro. But before I update you guys on that, I just quickly want to go over the rules. As far as rolling in the shades, I would not roll any sort of shades that are kind of like colliding with my pan that palette. And if I want to roll out a shade, I have to use it at least 20 times because after using it 20 times, I'll have like a really good idea on how long it's gonna take me to like hit pan or not, or it's gonna be taking me like, let's say, more than 40 or 50 uses. Then in that case, if I don't see any sort of dip forming or I'm not enjoying the shade, then I can roll it out, but my main focus would be to hit the pan. Without further ado, let's see what my color story was last month. So the very first eyeshadow I have in here is from my Lost in Los Angeles palette by BH Cosmetics. The shade name is City of Angels. And the second eyeshadow is from my Norvina palette, and it is Celestial. And the third shade is from my Rare Beauty True to Myself palette, and that is called Loyal. And the fourth shade I have is from my Wet n Wild quad, like the newer quad. It's called Walking on Eggshells, and that shade doesn't have a name, but it's kind of like slightly shimmery brow bone sort of shade. And the last shade I had was from my Glam Enchante palette, and that doesn't have any shade names either, so it's just like a grayish sort of matte shade that I got. Let's see what my very first shade looks like. This is how it looked like last month, and this is how it's looking right now. As you can see, I did not hit pan on this, but I used it a total of 7 times last month, and I see a slight dip happening, so we'll see how far we can go with this eyeshadow. It's a beautiful eyeshadow and I really like the shift that it gives. So yeah, so far I am enjoying all the looks that I've worn with this one. Moving on to the fun stuff. That was fun as well, but a little bit more fun stuff. The next eyeshadow is Celestial, and this is how it looked like last month. And this is how it's looking like today. As you can see, we have a juicy pan, as Steph would say. I'm so happy with this pan because this is the very first pan that I've hit on any Anastasia palette, because I have Subculture and I have Jackie Aina palette from ABH as well as Norvina. The dip on this eyeshadow is really huge because I was using this with my fingers most of the times, and I would sometimes use like a pointy brush to like put it in my inner corners or on my lower lash line. But yeah, for the most part I was just using it on my eyelid and I was using my fingers to apply the eyeshadow. And this took me 14 uses to hit pan on, and then I used it one additional time to kind of like expand the pan a little bit. But yeah, I'm really happy with this pan. Moving on with the panning spree we have going on. The next eyeshadow is from this Wet n Wild quad. This was basically brand new palette. I only had like a few uses on this one. And this is how it's looking like today. We have that little tiny pan. I was using a brush with this one because I was using it as a brow bone highlight, and I was also putting it in my inner corners. That's why the pan is tiny, but nonetheless it's a pan, and it also took me like 14 uses to hit the pan, and I used it one additional time to kind of expand it a little bit. And the next eyeshadow is from this Rare Beauty True to Myself palette, and this is how it looked like last time. It was basically brand new. I had only used it probably 2 or 3 times before rolling it into this project, but this is how it's looking like today. That is a really nice pan. These pans are really deep, and I use this eyeshadow a lot. I even used it in my eyebrows mixed with like other gray shade, and that's why the pan is like pointy. But yeah, these eyeshadows are really deep, and it took me 18 uses to hit pan on. Few of the times that I used it, I put it like everywhere. I put it on my lower lash line, I put it in my eyebrows, and I literally just put it all over my lid, blend it into the crease. So yeah, I had to use a lot of this eyeshadow to get the pan, but I'm really happy I got the pan at the end after using it 18 times. And then the last pan we have in here is from this palette. So this is how it looked like last month, and this is how it's looking like today. These are like 1 gram each, but the pan sizes are really tiny, so that's why they're super deep. And it also took me like 14 uses to hit pan. I'm like, 14 is some sort of magical number for me. But yeah, I used it one more time for a total of 15 times to kind of like expand the pan a little bit. But yeah, I was also using it a lot, and whenever I was using this eyeshadow, I would also use like a lot of it. I would put it in my crease, on my lid, and on lower lash line, mixed with like the other shadow in my eyebrows, because this eyeshadow called Loyal, it is a little bit kind of too warm for my eyebrows. Like I can't wear this on my own, so combining this with the gray eyeshadow, it kind of worked really well, and it was a little bit darker than I like my eyebrows to be, but nonetheless it worked out, and I am really glad as I hit pan on both of them. And the best part is that I even used like some of the other eyeshadows in all these palettes, because I was reaching for those chosen shades either way. So sometimes I would grab for shimmers, and yeah, that was really fun. Specifically for this eyeshadow, like I really loved how it paired with rose gold and summer, because I would put it on the base and then I would top it off with rose gold and summer sometimes, just to see like what kind of color combination it gives, and it gave such a dimensional look. I really enjoyed that, and I even used like few shimmers in my Rare Beauty and in my My Glam palette as well. So overall, I really enjoyed this project last month. I would say I am enjoying it, and yeah, of course I did reach for like other shimmers in my BH Cosmetics Lost in Los Angeles palette. So this is beautiful. But yeah, I'm so glad with my progress so far. Now let's talk about the panning percentage. Did I talk about it last month in my intro? I don't remember, but we're just gonna be talking about it now. So I have a total of 232 eyeshadows, and I have 28 eyeshadows with pan. So the total number of eyeshadows without pan are 204. And my panning percentage last month was 10%, and this month it has bumped up to 12%. So 12% of eyeshadows in my collections do have pan in them, which makes me really happy. Now let's just roll in 4 new shades. I'm quickly gonna swatch this eyeshadow to see what our new color story would look like. I have updated my spreadsheet with the new pans, so our total number of eyeshadows to choose from will be 1 to 204. Let me quickly change it up. 135, 159, 200, and 69. Okay, I'm gonna see what those eyeshadows are, and we'll see like if any of them is like kind of colliding with my Pan That palette. I'll be right back. I am back with all those 4 eyeshadows. So the very first one, that is number 135, it comes from my Do Not Disturb palette. I have this palette in my Project Level Up as my level 2 palette, so it would be interesting to hit 3 pans in it, especially the shade that I got. So the shade I got is this last one called Don't Bother. This is actually the shade that I am wearing it on my eyes today. It's on my outer corners. The reason and this is one of the shades that I was planning to hit pan on in my Project Level Up, but so far I've only used it once, which is today. But this got rolled into our pan those eyeshadows project, so I think I have to find other 2 eyeshadows to focus on, but we'll see. I haven't used this palette a lot, but because I'm focusing on my level 1 palette. But yeah, I've only used it once, and so far I used this shade, and both of them I used today. So this would be interesting. I'm gonna give you guys a swatch on how it looks like. But yeah, this is the very first shade that we rolled in. It's very pretty. It's a traditional shimmer shade. It doesn't have a lot of sparkles, but it has satin sort of like shimmer or sheen to it. So yeah, I really like it, I guess. And its formula is really nice. You can see how smoothly it went over. The next eyeshadow we got is also from BH Cosmetics palette, and it is from Sub-Zero palette, and the shade name is Stone Cold, which is a blue shade. What are the odds? I mean, sure, okay. Wearing this in spring. Nice. Well, yeah, this is like a true kind of sky blue sort of shade, or is it sky blue or aqua? I'm not sure. Yeah, this is definitely not sky blue. It's more of the aqua kind of shade. But I think it will pair well with like this one. This is what I said last month, that this is going to pair well with the purple shade that's called Celestial in Norvina, but I did not pair them together in any look. I think I used them once and it really didn't matter, so I'm not sure like how often I will be wearing these two guys together, but it will be interesting to see. So far we are getting like fun colors. But the next eyeshadow we got is from my Morphe 35O palette. I'm gonna show you what eyeshadow we got. It is called Night Vision. It's a gift. My best friend gifted it to me. Otherwise, I'm not a huge fan of like Morphe formula. This is the only Morphe palette I have. Anyway, the eyeshadow we got is called Night Vision, which is this one. I think this is like a dark brown shade that's kind of like really interfere with my Pan That Palette eyeshadow. I'm debating if I should re-roll anything else from here, or should I just keep this brown eyeshadow and just wear it in my eyebrows. I don't know, because these pans are really deep, because I use like some of the eyeshadows from here to make Franken powder and Franken bronzer, so that's how I know, because I scraped like really good amount from the top of these eyeshadows, and they still have like a lot of product in them. You know what, let's take a chance and re-roll another one. But the thing is that all of these mattes are neutral and they are going to intercept with my Pan That palette, because that's pretty neutral as well. So what I'm thinking is probably I'll keep like this eyeshadow and all the shimmers. I'll only choose from the shimmers and this eyeshadow, because rest of the pans are very similar to each other, and they're also like very similar to my Pan That palette. So yeah, I'm gonna count how many shimmers we have, plus one orange shade. I think we can also keep this one. So yeah, I'll be right back. All right, so I guess we have 13 shimmers here and 2 mattes, 1 orange, 1 is on the bottom, and we'll see what number I get from 1 to 15. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Fairly neutral shade that we got. It's a basic bronze shade. We'll see how it goes, and we'll have to see how long it's gonna take me to hit pan, because this is nothing special. It's just like a regular traditional shimmer with a sheen. So that's our 4th shade. And last eyeshadow, it comes again from my ABH Norvina palette. I think this palette loves to stay in this project. So the shade that we got is Drama, which is this one. This is how it's looking like. It has a slight dip happening. I think if I really focus on this eyeshadow this month, I might be able to hit pan on that. I'm not sure about like the other eyeshadows I have. What are the odds? We have all the shimmers. I mean, for this one, I'm pretty sure, because we deliberately like chose from like 13 shimmers and 2 mattes. But for the rest of them, we even got like shimmery, sheeny eyeshadows, which works fine for me because I have all the matte eyeshadows in my Pan That Palette project. So projections for next month, I'm not sure like if I'll be able to get pan on this or this one. I am hopeful, like if I really focus, I can get pan on this and probably on this one as well. But I have never hit any pan on BH Cosmetics eyeshadows, so I'm not sure how deep the pans are. But we'll see, because I think I will pair these two guys together, or maybe they're just gonna like intercept with each other. I won't be able to like pair them together, but I guess we'll find out. But that's it for this video. Thank you so much for sticking with me until the end. I hope you have a wonderful day or night depending on when you're watching my video. I will see you in my next one. Until then, take care. Bye.